on our rehearsal day, just kind of walking by this. It's a very cool venue because we're in sort of a mall-ish type thing, you know?
Yeah.
And so you have people just coming up from shops and restaurants to see this massive stage with Pokemon Unite everywhere. It's very exciting.
I felt on our rehearsal day significantly underdressed because of all the business people coming in and out of this building, and now I think I feel severely overdressed in this situation.
It's true. No one here is wearing loud clothing.
Yeah, no
They all
glitter
look
to
nice,
the office.
but they're not super loud.
Yeah, no glitter to the office for the most part.
Well, that's their problem.
Yeah, true.
All right, Blissey first pick. Talon choosing to go first. You're gonna just go over all the Pokemon that we're not seeing, and yeah, we're getting a really similar draft here. And
Yes, we are.
I think it's relatively expected, right? When both teams felt like they could have won the game, and then both made they let go of a few different things. Okay, this is the big difference, and I think that's a great choice.
Okay, let's go. I love that change. We take the Metagross away from Zeta Division. It does have an interesting matchup into Garchomp. It's I think a fight that Metagross will win a lot of the time. So I imagine Kata's going to be going on to a different option, but they're going to save their pick until later. Vidopo going with the Absol.
So they stole that away from Talon.
Absol?
Obviously, it's something that was difficult for them to deal with. Now Talon having to decide their final two picks here.
I like Gengar and Psyduck Clefable. This feels like a pretty decent option.
Yeah, Gravity could be annoying, but instead they decide to pivot back to this Mimikyu.
Okay. Can't really go wrong with that pick. I think Lance had so many phenomenal secures and some amazing early game, so can't really take that away from them.
Very similar setup here.
Yeah.
For these two squads.
Yeah, I think Absol Metagross trade. Other than that, it's the exact same lineup, right?
Yep.
It does feel like if an Absol does well and scales well into the late game, it is one of the Pokemon that can hurt Metagross. But if the Metagross is like a little bit too far ahead, it doesn't seem like it can hurt it at all, which is a bit of a problem. But the LG game where they decided to use the Absol as like a Metagross counter kind of felt like a decent answer when I watched them use it that way. The problem is it's just not guaranteed.
Heavy defense Pokemon, ignoring defense with critical hits. It's tic-tac-toe sometimes. But yeah, speedsters always have that caveat. You really want to be ahead at any point in the match, otherwise feeling really difficult. Absol maybe one of the safer picks in that regard, but what do we think is the hardest speedster to play from behind? Gengar probably, I guess.
Gengar's up there because it really does have to, it's either it gets a KO or it loses.
Yeah, level 9 is so tough.
Galarian Rapidash is hard to play when you're ahead.
Yeah. Galarian Rapidash hard to play in the practice mode.
Yeah.
I think Zoroark is pretty hard to play from behind.
I agree with you. Like a really under-leveled Zoroark is rough.
Yeah.
Quite rough.
Because you go in and you hit your whole
Absol
combo and it
feel
does
like the ones with
nothing.
options.
You're like, oh.
Yeah, so.
Your Darkrai not super easy when you're behind,
Yeah,
right?
that's a good
It's
point.
another one that needs to get KO'd. But at least it could take you into that nightmare.
We missed that one.
I said go.
That was on me.
All
So
right.
now we know they weren't clapping for us.
Nope, production
They were
crew is
clapping.
not clapping for us. That's fine.
They're clapping for their Zeta Division.
It is unfortunate to see kind of that illusion broken, but okay.
Heart's
It's gonna be
broken.
sad
That's
the
what Day 2's all
entire
about.
show now.
It's true. Day 2 is about that. It is the sad truth of a tournament like this is it's going to ruin everyone's day except for one squad.
When you think about it in that way, it is kind of tough.
That's also the beautiful part of life, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to put a spin on it.
All right, well, last
Beautiful
time
thing to say.
this matchup went phenomenally for Talon in the early game, and I'm feeling pretty good. And a reminder, the Blissey Secure bingo board spot is for Rayquaza. We can't give it to that nice
We'll
little
see
one.
what I decide to do.
All right.
Why is it just Blissey? Why not support?
Yeah, why not, Zoinks? Why'd you do that?
Why is everything a fight?
Look, I wanted the same thing. I don't know what it is with you two.
I like it on Blissey.
They were the Sync was the one playing Zen Headbutt, by the way, at
Yes.
Worlds, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, it's basically the only move I have been playing. Magna Rise is solid, but geez, that headbutt is just simply so fun.
It's so
I can't put
fun.
it down.
I agree. It's crazy fun.
Yeah. The defense boost you get too, it feels really, really strong.
Yeah, that's its plus, right? Giving you that defense. That's really nice. Is it defense or is it straight damage reduction? I feel like it's damage reduction, right?
Oh, Maybe it is. I thought it might have been special defense.
Which I think is it's even better.
For sure.
Thank you.
Agreed. All right, we got Wajiro essentially just playing for information at any given point. If they get a chance at a blue buff, I'm sure they'll take it. But otherwise, that Moonlight healing, they are not worried about any kind of danger from the other end.
We almost had support steals buff right there.
We did.
Very close.
Doesn't even need to be a support on that one. Just as long as a buff is stolen on an invade, we get to mark that spot.
Oh, well, that's going fast.
Dude, Wajiro has not left. I guess the team does not need support. They are here just making sure that timers are taken up.
Sometimes the most supportive thing you
take
can
the
do
ball
is
toy.
just be annoying. I mean,
Crowd's popping off for a ball to steal. That's awesome.
Zooming away. Oh, they're gonna pay for it. No, they're stealing the berries.
This is criminal activity.
so annoying. I love it so much.
Four members.
People.
4-on-1 and Wajiro finally falls.
Yes, King. Annoy them, King.
Boots the house down. Oh, big damage from Sync on the Metagross.
They got a little too annoyed. They got angry. They re-pushed back. They're like, no, stop it.
All right, so will be a Reggie Alecki focus for Talon overall. Slowbro going to hang out, just make sure this goal zone doesn't fall too early. But other than that, everybody else going to be taking down the Reggie Alecki as quickly as possible. Mimikyu and Blissey getting to work on that. Metagross going through a rotation that for once they will be alone on in their central area. And Mewtwo Y going to join the fight on the Reg Ice.
Kind of wild to me that we were only at the 7-minute mark of this match.
Yeah.
How much chaos is caused.
Yeah, with Wajiro just hanging out. They do take the Reg Ice as well. A big snipe shot lines up with an Absol hit. Massive play from Zeta Division.
That is just so much damage. This is a pretty slow rotation, by the way, that they made down to this basement Reggie. I'm surprised that it took them quite so long. I felt like they could have maybe counter-rotated after they took that Reggie Alecki so quickly, but they managed to make it happen. Still, Talon's points lead pretty significant right now. Their level lead, even-ish. I guess it's not a lead. Just have 2 level 9s.
Whoa, canceled out.
Oh!
And followed up the 36 snipe shot. Jeez, Zeta Division.
Rom is on another level.
Okay, well, he was aiming for the slow bro, don't worry about it.
Yeah, of course. Secondary target.
Well, sometimes you take these shots and, look, it's getting one of them.
Yeah, that's always the point, right? If you have 3 targets, you aim for the one in the middle. Okay, big damage, a few Unite moves. I love these play calls from Zeta Division. You know you have a Unite move advantage because you just saw them attempt it on the top side with that Metagross Unite. So
these snipe shots are just insane.
it's making Mewtwo Y's damage look like nothing.
Yeah.
Like Garchomp is able to walk it off. Honestly, Fable feels like an amazing answer to Mewtwo Y.
Fully, yes.
Like, who cares about your auto attack damage? I have the best anti-poke support in the game.
Yeah, Rom really having a game so far.
I guess it just forces them to stick by the Clefable, which is at least an advantage for you. But it just doesn't have that burst.
Moonlight, I mean, we're not at Moonlight Plus quite yet, but once we are, it's like, who cares? Like, the AoE is so gigantic. I don't think it's going to matter too much in the long run.
Duck gets caught out by a sneaky Mewtwo.
Definitely an argument for best Hollowware in the game on that side of suit.
Fight potential. Trying to just steal it away. Absol should be able to steal that, pretty easily. They have the Unite if they thought that was necessary as well. Now they can use it to try and take the...
Man, these snipe shots.
Yeah. You gotta ban Intelia against this team. It's just too much. Absol with 50 points, leaving that goal zone on 1. Wajiro, 40 points. They don't even go down. They just got their Unite move. I think they splashed, but honestly, that's probably optimal.
Yeah, I think in that moment.
It's actually the best roll you could possibly get. Or was it blocked? Did they just block there?
It looks like they blocked, but don't worry, I wasn't going to correct you.
All right.
Wow, I mean, Zeta's fights have looked so clean. Vitopo just coming in to rip through them, but it's Rom setting up these beautiful snipe shots. When you take away, half the HP of a target, it's perfect for something like Gokata or Vitopo to move in there to get these big targets. What? Get out of here.
Tomato? Oh my word, I didn't even know. It had to be an auto attack, I suppose.
No, it was psychic.
Psychic damage? Okay.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I'm pretty sure that's what I saw as the explosion psychic, which of course, if you look at what Talon had for a secure there, that was pretty great.
Yeah, it's made a thread in that damage. Great work. Vitopo also playing it really safe around this slow bro, making sure that Scald's on cooldown before they jump in on this Absol.
Speaking of arguably best hollowware of all time, that Slowbros hollowware is legendary.
We got some greatest hits, honestly, in this game.
Yeah.
The Absol one is one of my favorites.
Agreed, one of the best battle passes. Yeah.
Can you imagine going home and to do so, you climb on a mountain of gold? That's great.
Yeah, just poking, like you said, doesn't really matter all that much at this moment. And the problem is the other side has so much stronger poke. We also just haven't seen the Metagross be able to run away with things as much as Zeta did when they were using it. So everything is looking pretty tough, I think, for Talon. The level lead is huge for Zeta Division. 30 seconds left. The points are fine. I mean, at least you have a lead, but it just feels like this fight is going to be so difficult because we honestly, it almost feels like we haven't even seen the damage come out from the Garchomp yet either, right? It's been doing a little bit of its own thing. Like, it's been there, but it hasn't even been necessary. But if you were to get rid of the big two burst damage dealers that they've been kind of winning these fights with, you still have to deal with the Garchomp.
Right. Yeah. It feels like Talon hasn't been able to take a real honest fight this entire match yet. They've just been so far behind in terms of EXP. They've been forced into this kind of farming metagame instead. And they have not been able to play around objectives. You can see Zeta Division within 2 of them to their name with their Ice and Seal. So
they really need to hit a nice skull on that Absol.
On the wall.
Yeah, whoever, really.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh.
Ow.
Half the slow bros HP.
Oh.
Okay.
I like
Side up, down.
And they did hit their skull, by the way.
Huge weight. Okay, Talon.
Oh. Talion down. That's gigantic.
Yeah, Sync 1 lining up some really nice Metagross stuff. Wajiro is still up, so that means that Kada is going to have a chance to keep making it. Wajiro walking away from that fight, ridiculous.
Wajiro has been invincible this game. Oh, I like that, going for the back cap instead. They do have the damage to burn it down. Honestly, I'm really surprised Zeta Division just didn't burn it down. They had the secure as well.
Whoa.
Way. Psyduck gaming at the moment.
Metagross barely surviving on that gyro ball who peeled out. Mimikyu in so much trouble, goes down. The snipe shots firing in, and now it could be Zeta's time to start ripping this.
Yeah, immediately.
You got here is great on their side, Absol and Inteleon. Here comes the Metagross, looking forward with gyro ball. No, it's Absol.
That was the problem, is there were so many threats on the side of Zeta Division that they took down a lot of them really well. That was an excellent team fight from Talon, but then it was like the Absol's still just barely alive. The Garchomp's still barely alive, and Wajiro standing there, just full healing them all in a split second.
That Rayquaza shield boosted snipe shot left Mewtwo on 1 HP from full health. That was crazy. What a look. Yeah. Okay, Zeta Division. We talked about this is still one of the tournament favorites to win this entire event.
I fully agree.
I think it's Luminosity Gaming, FN Esports, and Zeta Division. But still kind of the 3 big names. They're going to take down Talon, send them home.
Yeah, this is about what we expected out of this matchup. 2 really solid teams, but it does feel like Zeta is playing on another level here at this tournament.
I will say that Talon put up a great fight. They were at a winning position both games that they lost. Certainly the closest 2-0 that we've had, which is a funny thing to say, but they were right there. Like, one more skill shot hit could have turned around either game. So great stuff to them, and it's a bummer that they're not going to be making it to day 2, which is today. That's a weird way to say that. Making it to the single elimination bracket.
There you go. Yeah. I mean, Talon playing around this slow bro pick pretty well in these team fights. Like RBX landing some big slow beams to start fights, one of my favorite ways to play slow bro. Trying to land some huge crowd control and kind of go from there, but unfortunately, not going to work out for them. And you mentioned it. It's all right, we take down 1 target, but then we still have 2 wildly good damage dealers. So crazy.
Oh, he's saying we have to check.
Okay, we have a bingo board, Mark, but we don't know which one it is.
What was it?
Healing, over 100,000.
105,000 for Wajiro.
Wow, okay. Wajiro breaking the 100,000 healing mark.
That's not surprising, actually.
And I don't know where it is.
Where
is it?
Oh, down here, down here. Okay.
Oh, there it is.
There we go. Okay, everybody.
The bingo board has been updated.
Yeah.
Here we are. We're getting closer and closer. Crowd has gone wild. 3 of the same Reggies in a single game with losers.
That later. Alter Ego, FN Esports. They're not that complicated, if I'm being honest. They've just been together.
Yeah, Talonflame ban going to be happening immediately, and then FN Esports responding with the Hoopa ban. So no trick Hoopa combinations or shenanigans. Well, Alter Ego going to be banning that Gyarados. Jung looking at a new option. Very interesting. Psyduck, I think, makes a lot of sense. That's a standard ban. Right. But we'll often see that from the orange side team a little bit more frequently.
Yeah.
We'll see Umbreon, a very viable pick for FN Esports with the potential of NQ on one and Ward on the other. But we have seen FN Esports rotating off of the Blissey pick a couple of times before, but not in this current time. Z-Ray going to pick up the Inteleon. FN Esports locking down the support core first.
This has been a pretty common, I would say, draft pattern that we've been seeing. That's a lot less common, especially in such an early pick. Okay.
That makes sense. If you have the potential, like if this is a composition where Comfey could be a realistic play, I actually do think you can consider it. But with Ice locking in the Snorlax, I don't know if that's going to be a likely option anymore.
That does seem like a little bit of an early Snorlax pick, just because they're pretty much locked up to not probably going that at any points. But that means that they might have some sort of strategy locked in for their final few picks.
Yeah.
Okay, not going to go with the Zoroark, but the Buzzwole that was pretty popular yesterday is making a comeback here, and that's going to be Jong's probable flex after getting the Gyarados banned.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, 94, I think, had their best tournament games on the Buzzwole. So not having that option will be interesting. And whoa, FN Esports is going to lock in the Gengar as an answer to a Zeraora Meowscarada Comfey kind of being the main highlights of this draft. I want to say the Inteleon's going to be amazing, same with the Snorlax, but it's just, those are pretty standard picks. I think the interesting part of Alter Ego being this double speedster with the Comfey support.
I suppose the Gengar is going to be really good at dealing with anything with a Comfey on it, right? It's just going to do so much damage that you might not even give them a chance to really play any sort of the game that they want to. On the other side, though, I am actually not as familiar with interactions between Gengar and Meowscarada, or as far as like matchups, or if there's anything you can do as far as the debuffs and like maybe like double team sneaking away. I actually just generally
I mean, if you double team, you absorb the Dream Eater, you're feeling fantastic. We are going to be looking at a Shadow Ball Dream Eater, by the way. That's an X attack battle item. I think almost triple glasses on the Gengar. No full heal in sight. So they are going to be going no Hexcar, instead going full assassination Gengar mode. Going to be a challenge. They're going to need to hit that level 9 so quickly. Alter Ego having the chance to really threaten the enemy central area, potentially with the Snorlax especially. I do know Ice has a tendency to roam outside of their own confines of the battlefield from game to game, so I will be looking forward to that. FN Esports really going to be leaning on that hyper carry. I'm excited to see Jong's Buzzwole though.
Yeah, me as well. Buzzwole has been a real big... It's been a game changer, I'll say. There's definitely been a few times where it hasn't really worked as well as it potentially could have, but we've seen it do a really great job, especially when there's a lot of speedsters on the other side, squishy speedsters, which is exactly what we're seeing.
Now, honestly, shocked to see the Meowscarada.
Ready?
Go! All right. Jumping into the battlefield. Look out for those heart sprays, folks. We're still looking across that one off the bingo square, but only one Cyber in vision so far, as 0 heart sprays at the moment.
We do see the Chef Snorlax, which I am, for some reason, a big fan of.
It's great.
And
I don't know if Snorlax has a bad Hollower, and here it is, as predicted.
Best
Alter
overall.
Ego going to be roaming in. That is a lone Ghastly in the enemy central area. FN Esports not dedicating the Chansey to kind of join them in an initial clear. Instead, NQ trying to get some early stacks, get that healing up early.
I would love to see what's going on with that Snorlax. That's such a scary invade against the Ghastly that it's one of those situations where it's not only like they might steal your buff and get away, it's like they might KO you, right?
For sure.
That's scary. And if you can shut them down early, which it does seem like they did at least a decent job. I don't see a blue buff, right? So blue buff stolen away. Yeah. That's huge.
Yeah, Ghastly did get red buff, and with a little bit of experience kind of taken from the rest of their path Pokemon on the bottom side. They will evolve into the Haunter. So things getting a little sketchy there. Alter Ego with kind of a rare slow start in the bottom path. Poor Z-Ray getting pushed out on this Sobble, even with the Comfey duo. There will be Shandy giving them some backup on that Zeraora. we might see Sweet Kiss, by the way, in this game.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about that. We were so, I don't want to say caught off guard, but we had to talk about all the other picks around it with the
I would
Gengar
never admit to being caught off guard.
Oh, never, absolutely. Oh, okay, that's a great pickup, especially trying to catch up on experience. They're doing a great job after that first invade, just to be able to recover and control that bottom path. And so much of this, I think, is the Espeon, right? The Espeon pops up so early in the game that it was able to just bully that bottom path. That poor Sobble is still a poor Sobble, crying rightfully.
Yeah, I don't think for long. So many teams have been doing this pathing phase where they actually leave all 3 wild Pokemon in the bottom side in that initial, the second Buttlebee, and then the 2 who are standing behind. But jeez, so much damage on a Mule is actually going to be the Espeon taking that KO. Really big start. 2 KO streak for Subin. It's going to be massive. Alter Ego going to be on the run as FN Esports getting their first strike of the game.
Espeon doing a great job. We've actually been seeing a lot of support Espeons recently, but this is a normal Espeon, non-support, which the damage is ridiculous. I was actually talking to Flareon's. Flareon's mentioned back at EUIC, he was saying that...
We had a great prom, kid.
Thanks. No, he was talking about how good Espeon was, just in general, but with the super speedster meta that we were basically hitting, it was just a little bit below. Now that things have changed just slightly, I still think Espeon is really, really good, especially the fact that, I mean, he's one of the best attackers at dealing with speedsters.
Yeah, it's a great Pokemon. I think its versatility has shown quite a bit. Wow, FN Esports playing really across the map, push on the top side and bottom side. This early game has gone so incredibly well for them. They have the chance to threaten at any given point. However, a snipe shot from Z-Ray can turn things around. A full miss of the Gengar combo. Mule not able to get that lined up. That includes the Unite move. Gonna final jump onto the Snorlax, and they're gonna be able to push him away with the Unite move. Alter Ego kind of punishing a lot of missed inputs from FN Esports. Great defense. They do lose the goal zone, but they're able to probably have a solid play at this Regirock.
Yeah, I think Akura should not have survived that. And it's looking like there's a chance they're not going to survive, but can we get the steal on the Regirock? No chance. Snipe shot, easy confirm. And once again, Akura actually is not being pushed upon, although an attempt here with Umbreon to try to pull it. Oh, the Umbreon pull into the dunk. That's a mean combo, and they're going to lose one Pokemon. More importantly, though, I think Alter Ego realizing that they should not overcommit to that push. They're behind by so many points, but they're still keeping strong. They're good levels.
Yeah, and this is, again, a signature move of FN Esports. On any kind of advantage, they are going to attempt to try to stifle Alter Ego's comeback potential. It's going to begin in that central area. Shingdi going down even with the Comfey pocket. This is what a Gengar can do with a really superb lead. Nice answer back from 94, but I don't think it's going to achieve that much more than that as a goal zone getting about half of its total HP broken, remaining at 52.
Like I was saying, I think this is actually such a smart pick. The Gengar damage is absurd, right? Obviously, Gengar just has to kind of set up and get to the right level, but when you're dealing with a Comfey, anything being carried by a Comfey, we don't really get the super tanky Comfey targets anymore, so Burst is your best friend. You can burst down before the Comfey healing comes into play, it doesn't matter, it does nothing, and Gengar, a great choice against that. We'll see if that continues on. The Gengar's going to have to be soloed out a little bit later on.
Ooh, Blissey's onto the Espeon, mostly to save the Blissey. NQ being a little bit under danger, wants to pull it off, but Subin going to capitalize no matter what. Nice eject button. Comfey can't even get in range of the Inteleon to try to attach, so no escape for that unfortunate Comfey. Instead, we'll get KO'd. Z-Ray still doing massive damage from the backline, but unfortunately, all of this early poke damage has not been able to be followed up by 94 Shingdi, as they have not been able to get within range. FN Esports just capitalizing too quickly. Buzzwole grab, foul play grab, either way, it all leads to a Gengar KO, it feels.
It's like an assembly line, you know? You pick it up, you move it backwards, the other person picks them up, moves them a little bit backwards. They should have been the ones to take this Zeraora. They could have just continued on with the line, but Zeraora really just hasn't come into play. Just hasn't had a chance. It's a little bit of a bummer. And attempt to defend here, but honestly, I don't know if that was even necessary. That did slow them down long enough for the team to get through, and the Unite coming out from, no, I'm sorry, that's not Judy, from 94. It's going to be able to give them 2 picks. That's really nice as far as just experience. They're behind by an unbelievable amount of points. They've got to start pushing something to make the comeback.
Yeah, I like this push from Alter Ego using so many resources, if only because they didn't push into that tier 1 on bottom side after they took out the Registeel. You know, they instead decided to try to recall and defend. Fortunately, Ice's defense wasn't lined up exactly where it needed to be to stop the Reggie-Alecki. But either way, they tried to get some value, but a lot of KOs, but no points scored. Held to 31 right now. FN is absolutely crushing this game.
Right, but the level lead is like technically, well, maybe until that exact moment I was going to say was in Alter Ego's favor. They had 3 level 12s, FN Esports only had 2, now they've got a 13 and 2 12. So
but we're in the point range where I honestly don't know if that matters as much. Like, even if you lose the final team fight, you're still feeling confident. 361 to 31 is a ridiculous margin to be ahead by. FN Esports also cutting off even path experience with these Altaria Swablues being stolen away. Ice can't contend. Reggie-Alecki spawning in with plenty of time to be knocked out. FN Esports can threaten it all the way to the home goal zone. Alter Ego forced to play aggressively on the top side. Cannot allow FN Esports to have a second win condition.
I wonder if you group up and try to take one big good team fight here if they overcommit to the Reggie-Alecki. Alter Ego, they're going to have to find something huge and really rival the entire team. What were you looking at, player camera?
No, I actually think you said that, and I think the exact call from Shingdi was maybe the opposite. He was just like waving his hand like, wait. But all right, the opportunity has presented itself. Umbreon will go down, board with an extremely short respawn timer, so Alter Ego with a solid punish. No Unite moves need to be invested there. Instead, Reggie-Alecki KO'd. Ice searching for experience on the map right now, so maybe they can get back into that Snorlax Unite move. But yeah, a solid punish. Reggie-Alecki will land. Gengar waiting in the wings. Maybe if someone wants to score, they can get a burst.
They got 10 seconds to take this base in Reggie, and they're actually going for it. Sure. That's a really nice rotate. They're going to be able to make it. Well, I don't want to stem them. We're getting a little close there. If that was Reggie Rock, I'm going to say that was a no, because it would definitely trolled them. But they certainly now know that Alter Ego is to their south. They're going to be able to safely rotate back up, and they've got some pretty good strength, I think. Yep. It's just the points problem. 310 points is ridiculous.
Yeah, so FN Esports is just playing this so incredibly safe because that's their win condition. They're playing very hard to that out at the moment. Over 300 points separate these teams. Maybe 3 full scores of 50 to change that around. Buzzwell takes so much damage early. On forward against a push on the backside, trying to enable this Gengar, but Ward actually the first to fall. Phantom Ambush is going to jump out of the ground, who will not take anybody with it to the Aether. It's Alter Ego that are striking first, and that is a team wipe. Full ace. Everybody getting involved from AE. And Alter Ego are going to secure the Rayquaza. They got to start racking up these points. Over 300 points need to be scored, but every member is up.
If there's one way that they could make these points back, it would be a full team wipe into everybody having 50 points with the shield, and that is now a 200-point lead in their favor. Wow. Alter Ego, they are just staying solid. They did not allow that to deter them. That was an excellently played team fight. Yeah. If they had lost 2 members in that fight, there's a chance that they just do not make the score back, but it was 100% perfect.
Jeez, I mean, FN Esports kind of getting punished for that split attack. We have Ward pushing into the front to try to take a little bit of aggro, give Mule enough time on the Gengar to rotate and get a KO in the backline. But at the same time, Zhong onto Buzzwell is just taking way too much damage on the front. So Alter Ego see this split push, predict it, and just shut it down. 94 on the Meowscarada kind of starts things off in that fight, and Shingdi closes it. Like, really, really clean stuff. This cat comp from Alter Ego looking great.
Cat meta. It's all about the cat meta.
Cat meta.
And 94 really has been on an absolute tear this tournament. Like, we just keep saying it. It keeps becoming more and more true. But Alter Ego, not a set win, but definitely an upset game win. Again, considering the fact that they literally are second place against FN Esports in the finals of their ACL qualifier for SEA. Wow. But Alter Ego, they got to feel great about that. And they're also such an energetic team. I feel like they're going to hold that momentum really well.
Yeah, that's true. And I mean, listen, I can never talk about levels not being as important as they were